Someone flicks me a bad body. Oh, it's another one, yeah. It's a full run, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Rico.
Ra, how are we today?
Very good, man. I think recovered from the jet lag. That insane week in Riyadh. The true story as to what happened out there, like I said, can't reveal on camera. Maybe one day when I'm retired, I can reveal some. Yeah. When all this is inevitably, this Saudi involvement in boxing, it ain't gonna last, contrary to what people say.
I think it will.
You think? No, I don't think it will.
Yeah.
No, it will last, but it won't be like this. It won't be like this. It's not sustainable.
Yes, it is. It's very much sustainable. They have more money than God. Okay, they have it's up there. All right, literally.
Listen, they got a lot of money now, but I don't want to get into politics, but they're preparing for when oil is no longer needed. And the whole reason they're doing this now is because they want to make Saudi Arabia a potential tourist destination. So they're diversifying their economy, which means at some point, these events have to pay for themselves. At the moment, they're not. At the moment, they're losing money. It's a loss leader. It's okay.
Right, you're talking like they are not royals. These people have more money than God. Okay, I keep on telling you this. Like, what do you think that they weren't saving? Do you think that they weren't saving? Do you think, think all of His Majesties all in the room? Yeah, all of His Majesties all in a room wouldn't have calculated back then. Be like, yo, guys, we probably can't keep on getting this oil money forever. So what we're gonna do is just save up and then invest in different stuff, and then still keep that Gringotts vault full, bro. So yeah, I think the Saudis will be in there for a while. Who's got more money than them? Who's got more money than them?
I think listen, Saudi Arabia, it ain't what you think. It ain't what you think.
It was a
joke. How much the
princes
spend. They even their former king who passed away, King Fahd, he said something really poignant. He said, my grandfather rode a camel. We drove Ferraris, but the way the next generation is spending the money, they're going to go back to riding camels. So I don't know. Maybe the royals are a lot smarter than we know. I don't know. If they are, they can't keep throwing money at events. Eventually,
they can.
Eventually, the idea is that it pays for itself. So they've got this Vision 2030. I think by 2030 we'll see them stop throwing money at the events, or there'll be enough tourists going there, spending enough money that it will pay for itself. But I don't know.
I think the latter.
Like I said, there were certain things that happened out there which I can't reveal yet, but I got insight that there's also some really dramatic social changes under the surface. So maybe it will become a tourist destination, but at the moment it isn't. Make no mistake, there were very few Westerners there. And even people in the kingdom, a lot of them didn't even know this event was happening.
Really?
Yeah, there's people asking me like, "Oh, what are you here for?" Because obviously I'm a very striking looking man, and people naturally gravitate towards me and want to talk to me and that sort of thing. And so they ask.
Goes without saying.
what are you doing? And I'm here reporting on the boxing, and people are like, boxing here in Saudi Arabia. So
What? Don't they have like what?
yeah, that
I
is
don't
what I'm
want to.
saying.
I don't want
So
to ask anything
so
ignorant, but it's
I don't
sounding
get it.
like there's not access to
I don't get it.
information over
It's
there.
like I didn't see, all over Saudi Arabia, like, all right, not all over, but you would think there'd be billboards. You'd think coming out of the airport, there'd be great big signs saying Riyadh season, day of reckoning, get your tickets. You think there'd be posters up everywhere. There weren't.
Yeah,
There
but
weren't.
the local people aren't really going to be going there.
No,
They're not
you're right, fair
really.
enough. But at Riyadh International Airport and Jeddah International Airport, loads of foreigners are coming in. So they weren't there. And again, just generically, like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Like I said, Saudis, they got more money than me. So I guess they know how to manage money better, you'd hope. But it's a strange
I'm
one.
just
So
saying.
listen, while it lasts, hey, listen, enjoy it. I certainly did. I know Aisha loved it. So yeah, let's see how it is. But I mean, all right, I think that's enough politics and economics. And we might both wear glasses, but we're not really that way inclined. We're boxing guys through and through.
Through and through.
Yeah, I mean, reflecting on the card, let's start at the bottom. What do you make of it? Sanchez, I thought he needed to impress because he's someone who can't sell himself except with his fists. And I think he did. I think he showed a lot there. Not enough to get to the front of the queue, but get higher up the queue.
No, I mean, what with Sanchez beating Far, I mean, that's not really a massive achievement at the moment, considering the form that he's on. And that's nothing against my guy Far, It's
Lovely
just
guy, bro.
I'll never forgive him and Parker for that fight that they had in New Zealand. I'll never ever get that time back, and I'm still pissed off. Hopefully, I'm not taking any grudges into 2024, so I'll speak about it less. But yeah,
Come on, what were you
Sanchez.
going to be doing Saturday morning at 8 a.m.? You didn't really lose much.
Mate, it wasn't even like 8 a.m. He played at a decent time. That's the thing. And it was like, I don't know. The whole thing was just crazy. They've not had a show in New Zealand since. Do you know that? Because people are scarred. But now, just going back on to Sanchez and Far, Sanchez did really well. As I said, I'm not really rating Far like that in terms of competition, but Sanchez is at least now active, good win, momentum. He's young, as most Cuban men are, and next year he can make some serious waves in the heavyweight division, man. I think he just needs to start getting a move on, building more momentum.
Yeah, listen, I don't think his win. I'm not saying it was impressive per se, but
you're not impressed, bro.
No, what I'm saying is that there's a tendency he might have done what Bivol did, like just coast to a points win. At least he got a stoppage, so that was something. Got a big stoppage, some knockdowns, showed his skills. I doubt he's going to be nowhere near the titles. I think he'll probably be used as an opponent for someone with a bigger name. Or
we need to start seeing more of Bacoli.
He will be used to get rid of another troublesome heavyweight. Yeah,
I can see that
because he's that good. So every promoter should have one of these. Yeah, like what was it? What do you call them? An attack dog. In Marvel, Galactus had the Destroyer. The guy that he sends down to. When you've just got troublesome villains around, you send this guy down, deal with them. Every promoter needs them. Yeah.
Well, somebody to just get rid of the riffraff in the way. Yeah. A sacrificial lamb.
No. That's the thing. They're good enough that they're not really being sacrificed. it's that. Say like some other promoters got some.
Remember, like the prospect killer. What was his name?
Yeah.
Sokolowski.
Sokolovsky.
Yeah, like my guy. Yeah,
like
big up to
that,
my
but
guy,
at
man.
a higher level. So say a promoter's heavyweights, he's nearly coming up to the mandatory spot, and maybe he's really good, and you know he can beat your champion. So you don't want him to get that chance. You get your Sanchez out and say, "Oh, you want to stay active? Yeah, sure. We've got here's my guy Sanchez. He can't get a fight either. You want to fight? There's your opponent. You get him in. He outboxes this guy. Next thing you know, he's far down the rankings, and your champion's safe. It's like Lerone Richards. Eddie Hearn should have kept him. Every time a super middleweight from PBC or Top Rank gets high up the rankings, yeah, what you do is you say, "Here you go, Lerone Richards, fight him," and then the guy gets UD'd, and you wonder, "Ah, shit, the guy can't punch like anything." But here I am, I've lost my unbeaten record. So, yeah, I think Sanchez is likely to fill that role, but he's good. He's good. So yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say on it about him. Who was next up? Was it Kabayel and Makhmudov? What a shock! Yeah, Bukayev wants to know about
massive.
Makhmudov. I think Makhmudov's
I think Makhmudov is. Yeah, let's just. You need to chill for a minute.
I mean, listen, when you're getting beaten up by small heavyweights and stopped to the body, yeah, you don't want to go in with Martin Vakoli, Big Martin. So, yeah, I was impressed with Caballo. Were you?
I was impressed with him as well. I take back. Made me swallow my words, man. Because I actually had Makhmudov sweeping the floor with him, but in true boxing fashion, the stars obviously aligned. He trained hard, didn't even look that like he was he's been unaffected by ring rust. To be honest with you, oranges in the chat, please, oranges in the chat, and yeah, I was impressed with him. To be honest with you, I would like to see him versus a Sanchez, something like that. Something where we can get heavyweight fights that keep the momentum up. I think they've both signed a 2-fight deal with His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh anyway. So we're going to see them on more Saudi cards. Yeah, well done to him, man. Well done. Great stoppage as well. As I said, he proved me wrong. So congratulations, bud.
Well, to be fair, no. I'm not letting Ajit get off too lightly yet. And I like Ajit. He's one of the few fighters on that whole card that gave me time. But he did do, what you said, that he was hanging around for that call. And I think either his hand was forced or he saw how limited Makhmudov was and thought, all right, this is one I can take a risk with. But
now, do you know what the answer is?
You think that's
the answer is money. Okay, he took that fight because the Saudis came in and they offered him 2 loaves of bread. Okay, and no one is saying no, especially when you haven't been fighting for that time. I just think that I don't know. I need to see another fight from him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly that.
But one within the time frame of decent activity, Raj. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not wait another 3 years for.
No, because then I'm gonna judge you again, and then we're gonna find ourselves in this exact same position, and I'm gonna be saying he's gonna get chinned by this guy. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole crop of heavyweights that the Saudis seem to be gathering. Yeah, they should get them all in it, all against all, as much as is possible. So, yeah, Ajit, next stop, get out on that March card if it goes ahead and fight another good contender. He said he'd like to fight AJ. Well, yeah, there's a long queue. You got to earn it. So, let's see who they can get him in with next. All right, Makhmudov, is he on the scrap heap? Fair to say, it always looked limited, but we thought, well, he might just be big, strong, and tough and hard-hitting. He's hard-hitting, not that tough if you're getting stopped by guys smaller than you. So, fair to say that's the end of him as a serious threat?
No, not just yet. It's only one loss. he can come back. Just I don't know if I had any advice for the guy. I would just say maybe take camp and training. Not that I'm saying he's not taking it seriously, but there was an element of he thought he would walk through Ajit. But it's one of those things where I was saying to people that he was going to walk through him. So
Cheeky.
again,
Bukayo, you cheeky. So it's like, I'll
depends
have you
if it's
know,
true,
our
bro.
boy BNG is a cruiserweight or a bridgerweight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, leave BNG alone. Yeah. All right, he's got
Leave him
a lot of
alone.
work to do. I don't see. Unfortunately, I don't see him making an impact. Said he broke his hand, so that's him out for at least 6 months. He's already 34. Yeah, and this is a competitive era. So, who else did we have? Out of the heavyweights, before we come to the main eventers, Hrgovic versus
That
Jamori.
stoppage was trash. Everything
was
about that fight was
atrocious.
trash. It
Absolutely
sucked.
atrocious. I
You
don't
know,
get it. Listen, again, I don't give you guys any bullshit. When I talk to the fighters, I bitch out from telling them they're crap. Same with Hrgovic.
yeah, Rock
he
keeps
ain't
that same
crap,
energy, rah rah.
Nah, listen, man. I want to keep getting invited to these events. So, but no, people have been saying for a while he's the next great heavyweight. I mean, the most impressive thing I've seen about him is the way he ate Zhang's left hands and smiled back. He's got a tremendous chin. Guys with a more trained eye for subtleties, they just say they do see in him the skill. But even if he is really skillful, what he's doing is obviously so subtle that it's lost on most of us fans, certainly the layperson. Yeah.
Nah.
And
No,
that's
Rod.
why.
Don't give that man an excuse. He's not
All
doing
right,
shit. Okay,
listen,
he's
all
not
right,
doing. He was not
whatever.
doing anything. Zhang was absolutely turning him into a chow mein. Okay, he was literally sending his soul to Essex. Okay, he's lucky that that chin is held on by sugar, spice, and all things metal. Because if it was anybody else catching those straight down the pipe, overhand right and left hooks, my God, he would have been out of there. We use the excuse for him of obviously, we say excuse, but the passing of his dad and everything. But also, you kind of have to come. This is a very very dangerous sport. You could die from this sport, and if you're having thoughts like, that's hindering your performance and you're not giving it your all, you're literally putting yourself and your life at risk. He seems to be out of that strut. When he came into the press conference with let's get down to business. Yeah, I was like, do you know what? I I don't like him all the way, but I liked him a lot better than than what I used to, which he did sell it well. Um, I'm gonna let you carry on, Landon, but just for me, in terms of how the whole fight was, give Demori the rematch. My guy deserves the rematch.
I'll
Okay,
tell
that
you what,
referee was awful.
it's not the first time we've seen Hrgovic
Get
hit
those lucky
behind the head.
stoppages.
It seems to be a regular thing with him. So yeah, not impressive at all. That said, I do like some of the smoke he gave afterwards. He had words for Jared Anderson, and I know I've spoke to Anderson once, and he did say he also said Hrgovic is one of those guys he wants. Let's see, Lucy, big up Lucy.
Anderson is so
Welcome.
funny, man. Anderson is so.
Would be for a title against either AJ
When
for
the
the
Goat the
vacant.
Bar
Yeah,
was fighting
listen.
Big Baby.
Now we know why the IBF didn't enforce that mandatory for 2 years, because it's like freaking heck. Someone get this guy out the way. We don't want this guy as our champion. So,
Do you know what?
right. Sorry, go
No,
on.
no, carry on. No, carry on.
No, I was going to say let's leave that where it is. I was going to move on to the other fights before going to the 3 big heavyweight ones. Bivol and Arthur. Bivol we know he's skilled as hell, but yeah.
Were you not
Once
impressed by
again,
that performance?
I was,
Oh,
but
just real quick, big up to my
it's
guy, Gaming Despair, man. Much love to you, bro. Was I nervous?
big.
Never, never, ever, ever. Okay, not a shiver down this spine, buddy. Okay, carry on, Ra.
Yeah, the thing with Bivol is like what everyone says. It gets tedious seeing him just stay in low gear, whatever gear is necessary to win. I think after 4 rounds of domination, you think, come on, step on it and make a statement. But he was happy to carry on coasting. And
That's what he does, Ra. That's what he does. They don't call him UD Bivol for no reason. The guy beats you up.
If someone's invited you onto that mega card for mega money, yeah, I was disappointed in both, to be honest. I think for that
For
amount
Lyndon,
of money.
For me, I expected more from Lyndon. I don't know if he got absorbed in the moment. I don't know what, but it's difficult, pretty impossible to get sparring partners in or to get yourself prepared for somebody like Dimitri Bivol. The guy literally has a meter where he just sets you to. Once he gauges you for that first, second round, he just sets himself on that meter and then just proceeds to pummel you. For 12 3-minute rounds. He's just exemplary. I don't know if there's a light heavyweight out there that can beat this man. I'll be real.
No, I mean that's the thing.
I
think he beats Beterbiev or Callum Smith.
I think he beats them all right now. I think he beats them all. Like genuinely, it's like I think somebody I saw a comment the other day, and somebody said, "Oh, how can could you imagine the Anthony Yarde fight with Dimitri Bivol?" And I think Yarde is one of the best, if not the best, light heavyweights we have in this country at the minute. However, he'll just figure out Yarde for another 2 rounds, set his doubt on the meter, and then just proceed to pummel him for 3 12-minute rounds. The guy's just a monster, man. The only time he'll get beat is when he moves up to cruiserweight. That's the only time he'll get beat.
Talking of course, we saw the number 1 cruiserweight in the world do what he does.
Ikram, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Stop it. Stop it. Take that off. Stop
it. Hey, listen, it's still
no respect.
iBoxingHub is still in holiday mode and having a good laugh. But yeah, Opataya, routine work. Apparently, the talk was that Turki Al-Sheikh wants Bivol in with him. So maybe he wants to see what Bivol looks like when he's really pushed. Can't see that happening, but yeah, again, Opataya makes it look easy at that level. Don't get me wrong, I like Ellis, but he jumps several levels. They need to get him one of the other champions and fast. That's really what I want to see. Okay, let's go on to the heavyweights. I know you're straining at the leash. Yeah, Big Baby Miller, seeing his head rollicking back and forth on that bulbous neck of his. You enjoyed that, didn't you? That 10th round.
I'll be real. I enjoyed every minute of that fight. The self-gratification that I had received from when Daniel stopped that man in the 10th round, the euphoria just couldn't be matched for that evening. I can't tell you, after all the trash talk, after everybody calling Daniel triple knee this and you're a quitter that and you suck this and you're not good enough that, Daniel with both of those fists guided by my fellow Zimbabwean brother Don Charles, right? They had a game plan, and that game plan was exactly what I said: establish the jab, and then chin him as soon as he gets tired, which he will, which he did. I was impressed with I think it was the fourth or fifth round with Baby Miller, where he actually came at Daniel, kind of gave him something to think about. But Daniel shook off the cobwebs of all of those demons that he had against Alexander Usyk, and when he first took that very first proverbial knee against Joe Joyce, all that time ago. But I think now we have, now I think we have a superstar in the making.
Yeah, give Daniel Dubois credit. He never, to me, he never looks like he has demons. You know, I really think he's someone who just sort of.
He's like Forrest Gump.
He operates in the moment. Yeah. So that's why I don't necessarily agree with the quit thing, because even against Joyce, there was nothing in his body language before he took the knee to suggest he's looking for a way out. In fact, that 10th round, he came out still throwing bombs, still trying to win, got hit in the eye, and I think just in the moment, the pain made him take the knee and quit. But I don't think he's someone who loses his bottle as it goes. So I don't think he, starts to feel like he wants to get out of the fight. So yeah, hey, listen, I don't think there's any.
Lucy, you're absolutely right, Lucy. Lucy, a round of applause for you, my darling, 1,000,000%. Because I'll tell you what, we don't know what it's like, right? Not fighting with a ligament that connects your both parts of your leg together. So, and also when during the Joe Joyce fight, he could have gone blind if he carried on. Like genuinely, like his eye was just gone. It was mashed. It's I understand that this is a brutal sport, but we want people to go back to their families at the end of it. A boxing match isn't worth your life or the way that you live it. So yeah, I never really understood that one. There are 3 weight divisions between them. Are we talking about
Triple D and I mean what weight classes?
Oh no, I think he's talking about Tank. I think he's talking about Gervonta and Tank. Now we'll go on to that. Just get. But no, obviously, I reckon put Dubois in with I really want to see Bakoli fight.
You said Dubois, he's the future, and for a heavyweight, he's young, 26. I think he's looked bad because he's been rushed in.
He has been rushed, and it's no secret.
Rushed. He weren't ready for Joyce for a start, and Usyk. Well, few people are ready for Usyk. He really is someone who's mastered the sweet science, and like I said, he exposed a weakness there in Usyk. So I think this time, pump the brakes a bit. Maybe him against someone like Caballero. Caballero's a tricky boxer. You could learn something trying to get to him.
That's a great fight, actually.
Yeah, why not?
Just more, not elite, not too harsh at world level. Just these fights where Daniel can kind of get that, just to establish his jab better. I think he did it quite well against Miller, but Miller is not fast. He's not.
Yeah, he's a roly-poly. Yeah, come on.
He's not how he used to be. Let's just say that. There was a time where, and I'll give you a bit of trivia, that he had the highest output of any heavyweight, any active heavyweight at the time. It is what it is.
Says a lot. All right. Well, what about the co-main? Impressed with Joe Parker, or are you sticking with it that actually that was Deontay's level all along, getting outboxed by anyone world class?
I'm not going to change what I'm saying. It's true. And his resume and performances are akin to that. Deontay Wilder is an elite puncher. Just because you are an elite puncher doesn't mean that you can just use that to be an elite fighter forever. How he lost is exactly how I said he was going to lose. For how long have I been saying how as soon as that Parker fight was announced, I said people call it an upset, but how can you call that an upset Parker has a much better resume than Deontay Wilder by far. Okay, he's got him and he's got Ruiz on his resume. Ruiz just destroyed Wilder's best win in Ortiz. Um, it's Do you know what I mean? Just because Parker lost like that to Joe Joyce, he fought a fight that he should never have fought. But that's for another topic. But with what Parker did, he went to Andy Lee, who would be the best person to beat Deontay Wilder, having worked with Tyson Fury on one of the camps for his fights. I think it was the second one. And you could just see that he had a game plan ingrained in him, and he was just setting up those hooks every single time, setting up the hook, coming, just leaving a little bit of distance. So if Deontay does try and let off the right hand, you'll definitely see it 2 feet apart, 1,000,000%. And as soon as Parker gave him the overhand hook, he would come into space and land up in the clinch, but he wouldn't stay there for too long because it was just that rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And Wilder looked like he had 2 left feet in there. Okay, you could see the rust on him, right, from a mile away. He hit Parker 5 to 6 times clean. Like those shots sounded like gunshots. But the thing is that Parker's got a chin as well, and it just goes to show you how hard Joseph Parker really hits. When you're taking a punch from him when he's actually sitting down on those punches. So, realistically speaking, there was no way that Wilder could have really won this fight, in my opinion. And you could see it there from the fact that Joseph took all of those shots clean, just said, like I said he would. Like I'll maintain this forever. Deontay Wilder could have been the most unstoppable fighter in the heavyweight division right now if he listened, right? And if his coaches weren't just yes manning him all the time. If he, because look at AJ, look at the way that he's kind of developing at the age that he's at. Wilder's 39, and he's only taken a serious boxing trainer in Malik Scott, who actually knows how to, work on the lesser or the less fine things. But the thing is that who did he have before that? It was JDS. JDS. Somebody asked JDS one time for what strategy is he going to use against I think it was against Luis Ortiz, and he was just like, it's just like football. I'm going to get the attacking guys to attack, and I'm going to get the defensive guys to defend. And I was listening to this guy, and I was like, you're training a world heavyweight champion, bro. America. I'm sorry for you, America. I feel bad. Because look what's happened.
What do you think about Tony Ellis is asking? Should Wilder retire? Me personally, I think if he
there's loads of fights for him. There's loads of fights for him.
If he doesn't really want to do it, he should. But if he does, I think him against Baby Miller. 2 mouthy Americans, both got their flaws, both got something to prove. Yeah.
And there is massive fights out there for Wilder. Wilder can still fight Usyk. I think Usyk will absolutely just fold him in a bin and kick it somewhere far. However, there's still fight. There's still an Usyk. There's still an element there of the right hand, and he's saying, that something wasn't right. He was in a what? They said that he was in a hyperbolic chamber.
Wow, Lucy's coming out with a brilliant idea. Wilder v. Opetaia at cruiserweight. The best right hand against the best left hand. I think that's fascinating. Good shout, Lucy, because Wilder...
he won't go for that.
Tell him that, look,
Wilder has 3 fights left at best. Yeah? 3 big money fights. 3 fights in which people will actually pay still, because they will have intrigue, right? And it has to be against a Joshua. It has to be against the Usyk. And that one fight that he has can elevate him back into a certain bit of contention for those big fights. Because if you look at his ranking now, Wilder's dropped like six rankings, right? Like it's crazy. the downfall, the curious case of Deontay Wilder. I'm gonna do a show about that. But yes,
All
I
right.
don't think that he should retire. I think he's got big fights.
Let's see. I don't think he will. These guys never know when to quit. And just finishing on Saturday night, obviously, AJ. I was really happy for him. AJ's my guy. I think we need to put the brakes, though. I don't dismiss a fighter for one defeat in the case of Wilder, for example. But similarly, let's not get overexcited by a good win. Let's see what fights he can get next. Valin's tricky.
I would pay good money. Douglas, 1,000,000%. I would pay to watch Dillian versus Wilder. Can you imagine that build up?
Yeah, that'd be a brilliant fight.
That would be amazing. Make it for the intercontinental nonsense or whatever. I don't care. But yeah, give me White versus Wilder 2024. And actually, that is perfect. That's a perfect fight for him. Because if he beats White, automatically everybody's drinking his juices again. Pause.
All right. Let's go on to what the fans I know want to talk about. Tank Davis. So he announced his conversion to Islam. And of course, immediately everyone's wondering, wow, this is going to get Turki al-Sheikh wanting to welcome him into the religious fold, hopefully with a nice present for us as well.
Yeah, but you can't use religion as a get me into parties card, okay? And not that I'm saying
if the
I'm actually
in Saudi Arabia, you can.
Listen, now obviously, congratulations to Gervonta Tank Davis. I hope and pray that this is to better yourself in terms of kind of taking a more spiritual way into exercising your current demons at a minute, because the guy gets in trouble too much. It's too much, and what he gets in trouble for isn't small things. And they eventually was going to get to a point where people were just going to stop looking at him and just treat him like Adrian Broner at his worst. So congratulations to him. And let's hope for the best on this one, I think.
So some of the viewers are there talking about this fantasy fight against Inoue. What a performance by him again. Double undisputed in a year. I guess cynics would point to the fact that neither division was that hard in terms of who he had to beat. He got two of the belts off Fulton, who's a really good boxer. Tapala's not so much. And the guys he beat down at bantamweight, apart from Donaire, who was quite old, they weren't great. But there's no doubt he's an exceptional fighter. But so much so that people are talking about a potential fight between him and Tank. Now, Tank's already said, look, I ain't going to fight him. He's nowhere near the same size as me. But it's conceivable. Remember, once upon a time, Manny Pacquiao was fighting down at super bantamweight. Who'd have thought he'd eventually fight a big welterweight like Margarito and batter him? So, what do you think? Could it happen? Not anytime soon. I'm saying 3-4 years from now.
Definitely. The thing is that they're both relatively young in that aspect of things. Because they're not going to stay at those weight classes forever. Do you know what I mean? So, especially Inoue, in a way, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, he will fill out, and by the looks of him, he wants to be beat. Does that make sense? He literally wants to go up every weight division, and he wants somebody to actually try and beat him. I feel like this guy is a real true warrior, like that I've ever seen. Obviously, maybe it's due to circumstance of the smaller guys not having that kind of appeal in terms of egos where fights don't get made. But with Naoya Inoue, this guy, he fights the best, and the best, and the best, and the best. I know he's going to be fighting Neri next. I believe that that was the gentleman who got caught with some not so nice things inside of his body. Yeah, I just, I, I, it's possible. It's not impossible. It's possible because nobody thought Roy Jones would fight for the heavyweight title and then go back down to light heavyweight and defend his undisputed championship. Um, Nobody. There's always people willing to go past the threshold or the line to what you think is possible. But yeah, if there's anybody that can do it, it's Inoue, 1,000,000%. That guy's just a savage. And I don't know who's gonna be him. I think he'll have to go up to featherweight, featherweight or super feather for anybody to actually be able to hurt him.
Yeah, you know what? That said, when a fighter starts to think they're invincible, that's usually around the time they get beaten. But I don't know if that's more of an American thing because you got all the media, hangers on gassing you up, and I don't know, maybe Japan, a different culture, maybe they've got that whole thing around shame and duty. Maybe Inoue will always stay focused.
Bro, that's what. Imagine he's the best one to represent you as the headmaster of like the dojos over there, bro. No one's going into this guy's dojo and taking his seal. No one's going to this guy's dojo and going and fighting and beating him for his daughter's hand in marriage. Inoue is literally knocking everybody out. Donnell was the only one that actually went 12 rounds of him. That is impressive. That's so impressive, considering how it's just the state of the people that fight him after is ridiculous. Because I saw that boy, I saw his picture at the post presser, and he looked like there was 1,000 people shooting his head with like a BB gun, bro. Like it was just and so precise. I can't see anybody beating that guy, man. Bam Rodriguez would beat him.
Oh, is it
I don't
now?
know.
Lucy, I disagree with you, because Bam is 23. He's boiling off a lot of weight. Come fight night, I don't think he's too much smaller than. He's probably about the same size as Inoue. Come fight night. But no, I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. I think Inoue said Neri.
Josh, shut up.
Josh is on the same stuff. iBoxingHub's on.
Yeah.
Same happy.
Benavidez beats B. What was that? What kind of take was that? But no,
I think
with no, carry on.
What do you think? Do you think someone at featherweight will beat him?
What, Inoue?
Yeah.
Hell no. No.
Not even a master boxer, someone like Rabisi.
Well, we've seen all the master boxers fight him. Like we've seen actual elite level guys, one after the other, go for this guy's head, and he just has all of them just there on a pike outside of his castle. It's and the way that he beats them up, he beats it like he's the nicest guy ever. But when he goes in there, it's like he turns into Michael Jackson, bro. He just starts mashing everything up. It's a little exhilarating, to be fair. I think somebody actually said, there was a tweet that came out, and they said if he learned English, that he would be a household name. I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't feel like you need to know English to be marketed in a way that you are the best and that can reach out to different people. I don't believe that to be true, but it helped Canelo. Ever since he started learning English, he's been a menace. He's been out there, payday. He's been moving absolutely crazy. So
you know what?
Maybe in the future.
This talk of being a household name, no boxers are household names anymore. Even what we consider the superstars. I think probably that maybe Fury and AJ are household names here in the UK. nobody's a superstar the way Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali were, because you could go
I think
anywhere in the world.
I think AJ is 1,000,000% a global star.
Nah, if you go to Asia, for example, I don't think that if you were to ask an average person, do you know who Anthony Joshua is? I don't think they would. Whereas if you ask my grandma, do you know who Muhammad Ali is? She would say, yeah, that boxer. My grandma don't know.
Yeah, but
boxing
but it's different though, right? Muhammad Ali was damn near an activist as well. Pete, you can't. This is the thing. Like, you can't kind of put an AJ and a Muhammad Ali type of. That's like asking anybody who Tupac is in the world. Everybody and the mom is gonna know who Tupac is because they were more than what they were. AJ isn't like that. Times right now
Yeah,
don't
I
demand
agree.
him to
I'm
be
just saying,
throwing his.
I don't think any of these guys are ever going to be household names. They'll be famous among sports fans at best. If Inoue spoke English, would he be? I don't know. I mean, fighting at those lower weight classes, get the impression probably wouldn't. But hey, listen, I don't think it matters. People forget Japan's a country of, I think, 200 million people. So close to 200 million people. So that if he's a superstar there,
Who cares? Yeah. They have
cares?
their own society there, bro.
And
That's
besides,
whatever.
the talk is even the Saudis are interested in having him over there.
The
Can you
Saudis
name
want
five
everybody.
of
The
them?
Saudis are treating these fighters like Pokemon. They're trying to catch them all. Can you name a fighter that size who has ever been a household name?
Below lightweight. Below lightweight. Or
Below
featherweight.
lightweight, what feather? My guy, what's his name? Barry McGuigan.
Only in Ireland and the UK. Nassim
Yeah,
Hamed
but he got the title. He got the title in America. Had a bit of a pro.
Naz Hamed, I think, here in the UK.
That's technically a household name. If we're talking about the houses at Yard and a little bit abroad, then we can put Barry in there. Big up my guy Barry.
When she says that size, I guess she's talking bantamweights. Can't think of any. Not in the UK.
No.
Not in the West. But
he hasn't fought Shabazz Masood yet. What do you reckon, Ron?
I love Shabazz, so I'm glad that fight hasn't happened and hopefully won't. So, yeah.
If he fights Neri next.
Neri's banned for life in Japan, rightfully so. Might have to take it to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I guess it will go there, or he'll have his American return. That'd be good to see him go and shut up those Americans who keep banging on about, you ain't nothing till you've done it in America. Now, dudes. Do
you know what? That's I think
America's
way behind the times. Way behind.
You don't need to go to America to do anything.
You don't. You literally. Why is he banned in Japan? Because he got Tony. Because he got caught with some not so nice things in his bloodstream, bro.
No, it was two reasons. There was that, and then for the rematch against Yamanaka, he turned up to the weigh-in overweight. Yeah, and he's done this twice before. Yeah, and this is why I can't stand the guy. It's cheating. He turns up overweight, knowing that the promoters aren't going to want to pull the fight. Yeah, so they let him fight without the title being on the line, and he's gone in with a huge size advantage. I don't know how you can mitigate against that in terms of the contracts. I would have thought they need to put something in the contract like check weights. If you miss any of the check weights, you're gone. Yeah, 3 days before the fight, you ain't within however many pounds, you're gone.
But you know what it is? Do you know why Inoue wants this one? This one is for his biopic. This one is for his biopic. This one is for the Japanese El Presidente called him in and was like, listen, we're gonna let this one ride, but I need you to go over there and honor our country and bring back honor on some Mulan thing. Okay.
Lucia's right. Yeah, exactly. I had no intention of making a weight.
I hate people that can't do that.
I
It's
think
rude and disgusting.
pulling a stunt like that, like I said, deliberate, so you can get basically be more of a weight bully than normal. Yeah, I reckon they should write in the contract that he's got to make. If he's not within check weights, he loses the purse. And I think they've got to see the WBC is another thing about how they let these guys just get away with cheating. If it's not drugs, it's making. By rights, he shouldn't be allowed anywhere near a title shot again. But it's because when you've done it twice, then you know this is deliberate. Yeah.
It is deliberate. It is deliberate. And the thing is that the dude just doesn't seem to care. But I think with this one, he'll everything will be right for this one. Hopefully, because I want to see Inoue obviously beat the shit out of this guy.
Exactly.
Just obviously quickly before we wrap up, Garcia eyes Haney. Now, you know,
Yeah.
both of them have come out on Twitter and basically said, "I'll see you soon. This is going to be next." Big up to Ryan, man. You know, mad love to Ryan. He seems to want to have legacy. I've said it many times, and but I still just think that Haney's just too good for him, man.
Yeah, I'd concur with that. I think he could have done with a bit more time with Derek James to further hone his skills. But big kudos to both, because as we said, there's this tendency to over marinate and allow fighters to get away with the whole not ready yet. So yeah, listen, if Ryan does take it, kudos to him. You know, easy work for Haney.
Josh
Not that
knows.
easy.
Josh knows.
I think Ryan hits hard enough that he's a threat. I think. But yeah, great if he takes it, that's great. You know, we talked about the Four Kings a few years ago. We all lost interest in them, but if they're now fighting each other whilst they're still in their prime, which they are, they're in their mid-20s now. So yeah, great stuff. Talk of Tio fighting Matthias Subriel in the summer. So yeah.
Isn't he fighting Jermaine Ortiz?
Yeah,
Isn't Matthias out?
Jermaine Ortiz next. That's a good fight.
That's a great fight as well.
Yeah. So kudos to the young men. They are getting into those big fights that we always wanted them to be in. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Might even land in Saudi. Devin and his dad were there. So yeah, let's see. Jasmine Ortiz. Listen, I know we're talking about me. I know you saw me with my Aladdin Prince Ali Ababwa outfit, but there was no
drip.
Jasmine there. Yeah,
that
believe
camel
me,
drip.
I was looking. Jermaine Ortiz trained by Bill Haney. Oh, okay. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a great fight. I'm
happy with that.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. Sounds like it's going to be next. One thing that I've noticed, you know, we kind of been saying like, I can see that one in Saudi. You can see that one in Saudi. It's going to be, I think, the Saudi takeover next year. I think Riyadh season ends in March, so there's going to be another season of something going on over there. And I think they're going to keep the momentum on. It's a shame that we're not going to get AJ Wilder next. I mean, I would do AJ Wilder because AJ wants to fight 3 times, so I would do it maybe 5 or 6 months out. Because AJ obviously he'll probably want to fight in March again. You know, which keep the activity going, and do Deontay versus, I don't know, why not do Deontay versus Dubois? You know, I think that's a very, very, very winnable fight for Daniel. You know, and yeah, and then do the winner of that at the end of the year. Well, 6 months.
Yeah, I think the Saudi involvement is probably going to make the big fights seasonal. So Riyadh season runs from October to March.
Mm.
So I guess that March the 9th card that finishes just a few days before Ramadan, then it's too hot through the summer, and I'll probably start up again October. So we might see some of these big fights. I mean, we still don't know what the Fury Usyk card's going to look like. There might well be some big heavyweight fights on that card. And then the March the 9th one, yeah, that'll be a big one. That could work out nicely, because then I think through the summer we could have the big stadium fights here in the UK or in the Northern Hemisphere, outdoor stadiums, and then the other big fights can go to Saudi for those people who are invited to that party, as you said.
I'm 1,000,000% going next year, man. My main two victims, I say victims, my main two targets to interview next year is Joshua Hearn. No, I'm gonna go three: Joshua Hearn and Frank. Those three are on my main hit list, and I think it'll finally be time for that to happen. So I'm just throwing
Just a
that
matter
energy
of
out into
time.
the air.
Look, you and Aisha have got the charm that I lack, it seems. I can't get in with these guys, but I'm going to try and get in with AJ. I do know some of his team personally. They said they can't help me out fight week because AJ's like focused, but yeah, I'm going to try and get him. But you know me, I'll be happy just to get to the fight nights. Checking out my flights for Fury Usyk in February. So return to Saudi is on the cards.
You might as well
So
just get your house there, bro. You might as well just buy it, just because
listen,
that's what it's looking. It's gonna be like for a
as
long time.
Aisha knows, my plan out there was to nab the princess. So then I've got a wife to go to and treat me like the prince that I am, and I get to watch the boxing. But yeah, failed this time out. But what's Aisha
Yeah.
saying? Could
You
do
wait. What?
the Haney in Saudi? Nah, can't see that.
Well,
Can't
you
see
saying
that.
you got one more left? One more left in you. I got one more in me. Um,
What's
Tony,
happening
what's
with
happening?
Joyce? I'll tell you,
No,
Tony. Shall I tell you what happened? He outlived his usefulness. That's what happened. Bloody cruel sport, this. Um, I don't know. I mean, there's no shortage of heavyweights, but who's he going to
I
fight?
think for there's loads of fights, raw. There's loads of fight. The thing is that like Wilder, he's got probably another 3 or 4 fights left
Hmm.
where he is competitive in the sense of how we know him to be competitive. Zhang was always the worst stylistically for him. I
Hmm.
said it, for the longest time. Um, it's yeah. From what I've heard, I think he's going to be back next year, early next year. Just needed to obviously take some time and recuperate. Thing is, Joe is in a bit of a predicament because he can't build himself up like that again unless he takes a super risky fight off the bat.
He's going to have to. He's 38, isn't he?
Otherwise, there's are you I can't see him as a main eventer again, but I can if for certain types of fights.
I think we might see him on the Fury Usyk undercard. But yeah, like you said, he can't build himself up by having a couple of easy tune-ups. He might have to go straight back into another hard fight. If they do, what they need to do is get him someone not a puncher though before he goes
Get him,
in.
get him, get him. Jared, Big Baby Anderson.
Oh, come on. Why?
Well, I think that the young man. Well, he's 23. I think that the young man is, he's fought the likes of Martin, got a couple of good wins. He can't stay where he's at forever, Jared.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
yeah. That's a good
regardless
point.
of whether he's 23 or 24, what have you, life comes at you fast. And I think that right now, if he was to get Joe, I do believe that he could beat Joe, but he now needs that test. You know, that kind of test where you kind of don't know if he's going to be winning. You need that kind of that 60-40, that 55-45. So yeah, Yeah, give me that for sure.
Joyce should challenge Manuel Char. Yeah, I mean, for a lot of guys
Big up
who,
Saka.
a lot of guys that need an easy win, Manuel Char and that WBA
Mate, no,
regular.
Joe is not that bad. You lot, man, you lot are so horrible. You're so horrible.
No, but in terms of what's in his best interests, that would be that'd be an easier route back to the front of the queue. I'm surprised more people aren't calling for Manuel Char based on that. But
Because, like, why? Would you even get a high ranking for fighting him? This is the thing. Like,
well,
Char,
he's the WBA regular, so get the WBA regular. I presume it gives you a ranking.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You know who was wearing that title with pride? Daniel Dubois. We might not see any more like him again. But yeah. No, thank you so much, Raw. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in as you always do. We told you we'd get you a couple of shows through before the year's end. There is one big final show on Sunday that we're going to be doing. Big up to you, Saka, my bro, man. You know, Tony, and a lot of people that have been following us and listening to us for since we started the show. We always appreciate you guys, and we're hoping to keep on being consistent with everything. And yeah, you know, it's always a pleasure talking with my guy Rob. Big up BNG in the building. Big up Aisha. Anything you wanted to say, Rob, before we wrap up today's show?
No, as usual, keep an eye on all our socials. Of course, I've been flexing about going to the biggest event of the year, and I'm going to go to another one in February. But before then, there's some small hall stuff coming up. I'm still trying to get hold of our beloved Mo Pryor to do his life story. I want everyone to watch that because he's a real important person for the grassroots small hall level. You know, without that grassroots level, there would be no big glamorous events. So we all got to support that as well. So yeah, just look out for that. But before then, Sunday, New Year's Eve, before you all go out to party, join the whole family. We're going to be reviewing the year. So yeah,
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. I can't wait to just remind Trey how my prediction game has just been better than his this year. He might have got me with a couple, he might have got me with a few, but altogether I've smashed it. So you know, our rivalry will continue for 2024, 1,000,000%. Big up Aisha and BNG again. Big up Ikram and everybody who tuned in. Much love to Lucy and Josh and everybody else, and we will see you guys soon. You don't want to miss this one on Sunday because it'll be New Year's Eve. Some of us will be you know, feeling a little bit more excited than usual. So I think we're gonna have an incredible show, that's for sure. So yeah, big up everybody and take care. Have an amazing day. Raw.
We'll see you guys Sunday.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my scars with a sweet one, please.